up? I have returned. It's me again. Today we're gonna be reading some Reddit confessions because I felt like I really enjoyed making the. Oh, this is my new cat. Do you want to meet him? He's really nice. He's so sweet. Oh, so sweet. Oh, my baby. He's my sweet kitty. Okay, bye. Bye. Anyways, um, what was I say? Oh yeah, today reading Reddit confessions. This is called "I lied to my barber for years and we never talked ever again." Uh-oh. Okay. I'm French and have been living in a big city in France for a few years, going to my barber almost every month. That's really, maybe it's a guy. I don't know. I feel like women go to get their hair cut like a lot less frequently than men do. But I guess men, if they have it short, then it's probably takes more upkeep because it's more noticeable when it grows longer. I don't know. If you're a man and you cut your hair frequently, explain this to me, please, in the comments. Let's see. I always hated small talks and talking about random stuff. Since childhood, I was always introverted and just come in the shop and want my haircut done. Dude, I'm the exact same way. This is why, like, so I haven't gotten my haircut in, like, I trim my bangs myself, but I haven't gotten, like, my hair cut in over a year. Partly because it's expensive and it's, like, it's not really necessary. Like, I'll just keep growing my hair out. It's fine. And then also, like, I just don't like small talk. Like, it always feels so forced. I'm at the hairdresser, and, like, they're only talking to me because they have to be, right? It's not like it's like really a forced conversation every time. And then once they run out of, like, the normal questions, then it just, like, there's this awkward silence, and then I feel like I have to come up with something to talk about, and it's just like, I don't know. So, anyways, I understand where this person's coming from. The first time I came to that barber, I didn't think I would come back again, so I pretended not to speak French and only be able to speak English to avoid all the small talk. That is so smart! Oh my god. That is really smart. That's crazy. Wow. Dude. You know, that's funny because I also speak French and English, but I was fluent in French when I was a kid because I grew up in like a French speaking place. But then I moved somewhere where it's like only English. So then I stopped speaking French because there was just no need to, and my family always spoke English. So like I never really had to speak French again. So I've lost some of the language, but I do still remember like quite a decent amount. So I can understand conversations that people have in French, and I can like, you know, I can small talk in French if I try. But I never thought of doing that. I don't know. I feel like I'd just be really awkward though. I'd probably mess up and like say something in English by accident. I don't know. Okay. A few years later, he still thinks I'm an American lost in France. He doesn't speak a single word of English. The only few times we interacted, I used Google Translate on my phone. It felt nice not having to talk, but I was always scared he would discover it somehow. I'm now moving countries and he will probably never know about this. Sorry, Mr. Barber, but thanks a lot for the nice haircuts. Aw, that's sweet. That's really funny though. I mean, it's fine. Like, you didn't you didn't hurt anybody, so good for you. I guess. I mean, yeah, that's a good way to go about it. Honestly, that's a good way. I respect this. It is definitely deceitful, but I still respect this. So. I took advantage of a CVS self checkout kiosk that had $20 bills loaded into the $5 bill slot. This is just wrong. This is just wrong. This reminds me of the stealing change from people's cars from the last confession video. Many years ago, I used a self checkout at CVS, and instead of giving me two $5 bills in my change, it gave me two $20 bills. Oh, okay, so you didn't directly take it out. Okay, I thought you meant like you took it out, knowing full well that they were $20. Okay, I told my friend and his wife, and we all teamed up to empty it. We all went in and each bought something that cost less than $5 and inserted small bills. Oh. Instead of $15 and change, we each received $40 and change. I went twice, including my first time, and they each went once, but when we went back again, the machine was out of order. It was awesome. Okay. One time by accident, like when you first used the self-checkout and it gave you the $20 bills, like I can see just taking it and leaving, but going back and keep continuing to use it knowing that it'll give you, that's the part I'm a little sketchy about. I don't know. I don't, like, what if you're scared? Like, that's a whole, because since you know that there's $20 bills in the $5 bill slot, you know you're stealing. So that's just straight up crime. This is just illegal. Yeah, I wouldn't do this. I mean, I definitely know people who would do this, but I don't think this is a good idea. This is pretty bad. Yeah, nah, I don't condone that. The girl I am dating thinks I am mute while I am perfectly able to talk. Dude, this is like the French one, but way worse. Okay. Hi. I've never loved talking, or to say it better, I've always done mistakes talking. It's too easy to be misunderstood. Roughly 1 year ago, I decided to stop using my voice completely, and I started using a small notebook when I have to engage in conversation. At the beginning, it was weird, but I started loving it till it became totally normal for me. Oh man, that's harsh. Dude, that's a lot. That's a lot of effort to like put in for not talking. This person must really not like conversing with people. 4 months ago, I was on the tube and a girl approached me. On the tube? What does that mean? What's the tube? Is that like I'm thinking you're floating down a river in like one of those like inflatable donuts. And a girl approached me. But so the girl swam over to you? Or are they on, like, what type of tube are we talking about? I don't know. Maybe YouTube? I don't know. If you guys know what this means, please tell me, okay? I don't know. She is really beautiful and nice. We had this sort of weird conversation where she was talking and I was writing. Fast forward, we are dating now, and she still thinks that I am mute. How long has it been? I really don't know what to do because I like her and I don't want her to react bad to the truth. I would probably skedaddle on out of there, not gonna lie. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I mean, it's better to tell her sooner than later, you know? Oh, someone commented, you are a mute, a selective mute, let her know. You know what? Okay, wait, this is actually true. Because selective mutism is a thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is true. I didn't think about that. Well, I don't know enough about selective mutism, but, you know, I mean, I think you should definitely, has she asked about it at all? Or has it just been like this unspoken agreement between you guys? Like, unspoken, get it? Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tricky situation. Huh, okay. Well, we'll move on. I threw away my neighbor's DMV driver's license because she used my address. Oh no. How did you manage to like get hold of that? Okay. A little bit of background to make me feel less bad. Real. I have been managing bills and paperwork after my husband's death in December. I am signed up with the service through USPS where they email you images of your incoming mail. I saw a larger mailer from the DMV and thought it was something that I had been expecting in regards to my late husband. To my shock, it was a license belonging to who knows. I do get mail every once in a while for this person, and I thought it was a previous owner still getting mail. After some sleuthing and looking through my notes from when I first moved in, I realized the last name matches my neighbor's, but it's not her or her first name. My neighbors are nice people, but they do have a lot of family. They have a lot of extended family that comes and goes. This doesn't bother me at all. Her using mistakenly probably my address on her DMV license does bother me greatly. I could have walked the mail over and asked my neighbor that she have her family member update her address. I did not. I straight chucked that thing in the garbage. along with a few mail in regards to her car insurance. That's crazy. Does she live in an apartment? Because I feel like in apartments it's definitely easier to get it mixed up. That's kind of wild though. That someone else would just like. How do you accidentally put someone else's address on your driver's license? Like, how does that happen? Like, I feel like, you know, when you're like filling out important paperwork and you like check to make sure that it's correct? Like, I would hope everyone does that. That whenever I have to put in like my social security number or something in, I always check and like make sure that I did it right. Cuz it's like I don't want to accidentally like commit a crime or just put it in wrong and then have like this big hassle trying to fix it later. So like I feel like it's very important to check and make sure you get it right. Did this person just not? This is just full on ignorant. Honestly, I would probably do the same thing. I would probably just throw it away so that they wouldn't get it. Because then they have to. Do they have to get a new one? But, like, can they just order a new one without changing the address? Also, car insurance? Like, how? They messed this up so badly. You know what I bet happened? I bet what happened is that, like, your neighbor had like a family gathering or something at one point and sent out like the wrong address by accident, like one number off, and it was your address. And then like since then everyone's just been using, like, something happened with that, and then when people like look up their address or whatever in their like text history or email or whatever, it comes up as that, and then they use, I don't know, maybe that's a far-fetched idea, but I feel like that would be like something that could happen. I don't know. That's really weird though. That sounds really annoying. Like, I mean, I live in an apartment and I always very frequently get mail from like the people who used to live here. Our mailboxes are like, they're all next to each other and they all have like keys, so I just like leave it there. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but I just leave it there because I'm like, well, it's not my mail, so not gonna open it, because apparently opening someone else's mail is also illegal. I didn't know that until someone told me. But luckily I don't go around opening other people's mail, so I am innocent. But yeah, that's crazy. Anyways, well, we'll move on. I treated one store like my personal free rental shop. How does that work? There was this electronic store with a really generous return policy. Dude, those employees must really hate it there. I figured out I could buy things, use them for a week or two, clean everything up, put it back in the box, then return it saying it wasn't what I expected. The first time actually worked, and after that I kept doing the same damn thing with different stuff. This is funny. Okay. I borrowed speakers for a party, a pressure washer to clean my driveway, and even a fancy camping stove for one weekend trip. Every single time I got all my money back, I started feeling smart, like I had found some secret life hack nobody else knew about. That's crazy. Dude, if I was like an employee, I would be like so mad. Every time like this person would walk in, I'd be like, oh, it's that person again. Like, what are they gonna return now? One day the employee at the return counter looked at my receipt, looked at me, and said, you really don't keep anything, huh? He wasn't rude, but I could tell he knew exactly what kind of bull crap I was pulling. He still processed the refund, but I felt my face getting hot. I never went back to that store after that. You thought they wouldn't recognize you? Dude, as a customer service worker, whenever like a regular comes in or someone who's been in there before, like I always recognize their face. You know, I don't always recognize like what they bought last time they were there, but like I recognize their face and I know when the same person comes back. I used to laugh about it with my friends because I thought I was beating the system. Now I just think I was being a cheap jerk. The store probably survived just fine, but that doesn't make what I did any less crappy. I wasn't returning things because they were defective. I was just too damn selfish to pay for stuff I wanted to use. Well, at least you know you were in the wrong. You know, that's always good. Personal growth right there. Really, you know, proud of you for growing as a person there. Yeah, but it's kind of unfortunate that someone had to point it out until you realized that you were being kind of a bad customer. Yeah, but I mean, at least you realized it, right? I, 26 male, lied about being a chef to impress a girl. Now I have to host a cooking class. Oh, Lord. 3 months ago, I panicked trying to impress my neighbor Sarah, 27 female, and told her I was a chef specializing in French and Asian fusion. Where do you come up with this stuff? I maintained the lie by ordering expensive takeout, plating it nicely, and letting her see me toss the containers. It worked too well. The whole apartment building found out and crowned me the resident culinary expert. Oh my god. So you told this girl that you were a fancy chef, and then you ordered takeout from a fancy place, and then pretended you made it? That's terrible. The lie backfired when the building hosted a potluck and tagged me to bring a dish. Being broke, I bought 5 dozen lasagnas, baked them in my own dishes, threw fresh basil on top, and called it rustic. Everyone lost their minds, and now Sarah wants a private cooking lesson this weekend. My actual skill level stops at microwaving 101. How do I confess I'm a fraud without ruining my chances? You can't. You literally can't. Personally, as a woman who has dated men and been lied to about things like this, I'm out of there, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Any sort of like deceitful stuff like that, I'm out. Cause it's like, so if you cheat on me, are you gonna tell me? Like, or are you gonna lie about that too? You know, it's like, you know, I just can't with like these types of people, cause um, I feel like there are so many men out there, or just so many people in general, in the dating world especially, where like people lie about like their traits or their like, I don't know, abilities to make themselves look better and more like suitable for companionship. And it just nips them in the bud every time. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, cause okay, I went on a date with this guy several months ago. Um and it was like an online dating situation. It was like a Hinge situation. Don't worry, I've since deleted all of that because I'm wasting my time personally. And his profile said he was like 6 feet, and that he was like he had a full-time job, and he went to this like fancy school. And then we met up, and I was just like asking him about that. And like literally, I don't know if he just like straight up forgot that he put this stuff in his profile, but like everything in the profile was just like false. And also, he was not 6 feet. He was like, and I'm not close to 6 feet. And he was like maybe an inch taller than me. I just don't understand why people lie about things when it's like so easy to disprove the lies. Like, the lies are always like really bad, especially this cooking thing. Like, that's a terrible thing to lie about. And also, people who like lie about this stuff, I mean, they always have like, people don't just lie for no reason, right? People lie to make themselves look better because they're like insecure about something. And like, yeah, I can relate to like being insecure about things, but like at the end of the day, you are who you are. And if some people don't like that, or if Sarah doesn't like that your cooking level stops at microwaving 101, then she can go find someone else, and then you can go find someone who does appreciate that about you, like, the lying part just like isn't necessary, because the truth is always going to come out regardless. Um Especially in like really dumb lies like this that are really easy to disprove. And also, like, just like be yourself. There's not really, I feel like there's just not a point in like lying about things to make yourself look better, because it's like, once you get into a relationship with someone, they're gonna like learn more about you, and they're gonna figure you out, and like they're gonna realize that, like, oh, and if someone doesn't like you for who you are, then that's like that's too bad. Just go, like, that's not the right match then. It is what it is. I don't know. That's my take on it, but yeah, this kind of stuff makes me mad. We'll do one more. Okay. I stole my coworker's lunch every Friday for 3 months. That's just mean. Okay. I know how bad this sounds, and I feel terrible about it now. Last year, I was going through a rough patch financially, but I was too proud to admit it to anyone at work. Every Friday, this guy from accounting would bring in these really nice homemade meals, like proper containers with pasta or stir fry or whatever. He put them in the shared fridge, and I noticed he always left around 1 p.m. for some standing appointment. Okay, well, at least, like, there's a reason behind it. At least you're not just doing it for fun. Like, it sucks that you're broke, but, like, at least you're not just doing it for fun. I started taking his lunch right before he'd come back, just on Fridays. I'd eat it in my car and throw away the container in the dumpster outside. He never said anything publicly, but I saw him looking confused a few times, and once he sent an email to the whole floor asking if anyone had seen his food. I never responded. The worst part is he eventually stopped bringing lunch on Fridays altogether. He probably thought someone was messing with him, or maybe he just gave up. I had convinced myself it wasn't a big deal because he could afford to buy something else, but that's a garbage excuse. I was stealing from someone who did nothing wrong, and I kept doing it because it was easy. See, this is another character development. Love when someone can just admit that they were wrong. I'm in a better place now, and it's been eating at me for months. I want to apologize, but I have no idea how to even start that conversation without making everything weird or getting fired. I just needed to say this somewhere because the guilt has been sitting heavy, and I know I was completely in the wrong. At least you know you were in the wrong. This is giving, like, The Office, Yeah. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. That's kind of unfortunate. That sucks. Like, you bring a meal. It's giving, like, middle school when you get your, like, lunch money stolen, except these are, like, full-grown adults and they work, like, a full-time job. It's tragic. They said they want to apologize, but they have no idea how to even start that conversation. I mean, not gonna lie, if you don't want to risk your job, I would wait till after you leave the job and then bring it up. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good idea to apologize. But if you don't want to get fired, like, maybe wait till after you quit and then apologize after. I don't know. Or maybe apologize and I mean, he sounds like not very confrontational cuz this guy sounds like he sent an email to the whole floor asking if anyone had seen his food. So he never accused anybody. And he just walked around looking confused, which is really sad thinking about that. But it sounds like this guy wouldn't, I don't think he would try to get you fired, given the way he has acted in the past. But, you know, you don't want to, like, stir the pot. But, yeah, apologizing is, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of what this person should do in the comments. Because should they apologize, like, now? Or should they wait? Or, like, I don't know. My moral conscience is confused. Well, that's the end of the video. So, I am going to get going now. Thank you for watching. See you guys later. Bye.